Last week, USD/JPY, EUR/JPY, Dow Jones, and gold reached their convergence points. Congratulations to those who were able to secure profits. Now, let's take a look at the financial market outlook for the week of April 20th through 24, 2026. How will the markets move this week? Let's take a closer look. This week's theme is the final agony of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Before we begin, a quick note on the model. This forecast uses 200 weeks of global market data and AI-assisted statistical analysis. It does not predict geopolitics, only where prices tend to converge over time. Based on these statistical dynamics, here are the projected convergence levels for this week. USD/JPY is 158 yen and 99 sen. EUR/JPY is 186 yen and 58 sen. AUD/JPY is 112 yen and 98 sen. GBP/JPY is 213 yen and 89 sen. The Nikkei 225 is 59,008 yen. The Dow Jones is $50,117. 10-year JGB yield is 2.27%. Gold is $4,888. These are statistical convergence zones, not directional forecasts. Last week, mediated by Pakistan, the United States and Iran reached a ceasefire agreement that covering Lebanon, including military actions against Hezbollah. In addition, the Strait of Hormuz, a vital artery of the global economy, was expected to reopen. However, just a few hours later, the situation changed dramatically. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps attacked civilian commercial vessels, and the strait was once again pushed into a state of closure. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Israeli forces opened fire on Hezbollah operatives who approached their positions. The Middle East has once again returned to a state of extreme tension. On this channel, we have consistently stated that after the ceasefire, the situation would shift into a war against terrorism involving the IRGC and Hezbollah. And now that scenario is unfolding exactly as anticipated. On the 17th, Iran's foreign ministry announced the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. But the very next day, on the 18th, Tasnim News, a media outlet close to the IRGC, declared the strait closed again, citing alleged U.S. interference with Iranian shipping. What we are witnessing is a clear internal fracture where the official statement of Iran's foreign ministry is being overridden by force by the IRGC and its affiliated networks. Furthermore, within Iran, a power struggle is intensifying over who has the authority to decide on ceasefires, maritime access, and nuclear negotiations. In other words, the very chain of command within the state is breaking down. In the short term, the IRGC is likely to expand its control, while the foreign ministry is reduced to a symbolic role. However, the perspective of the international community is critical here. The United States, the G7, and Gulf nations do not recognize the IRGC as the legitimate representative of Iran. In addition, China has confirmed the importance of secure navigation through the Strait of Hormuz at the foreign minister level. In other words, even if the IRGC seizes control domestically, the international community will not recognize it as a legitimate government. This creates a powerful justification: the liberation of the Iranian people from a terrorist organization. So, what comes next for the United States? There are two primary options. The first, a direct military operation against the IRGC. For example, an assault on key energy infrastructure such as Karg Island, aimed at delivering a decisive blow. The second is strategy of economic strangulation, by effectively sealing off the Strait of Hormuz and cutting Iran off economically. At this stage, taking into account potential internal divisions within the IRGC, the United States is likely to first observe the situation while applying economic pressure, and ultimately move toward military action to bring the conflict to an end. Crude oil prices, specifically WTI, have declined to around $83 per barrel. Meanwhile, stock markets are rising. This clearly indicates that markets are beginning to price in a U.S. advantage and an eventual end to the conflict. As we enter the new week, this trend is likely to continue, with equities remaining relatively stable. On the other hand, in the foreign exchange market, the dollar-yen pair may face upward resistance due to concerns over potential intervention. And as a path toward the end of the conflict becomes clearer, the likelihood increases for a shift toward a weaker dollar and stronger yen. Please note that the market outlook presented here is estimated using a stable convergence model based on statistical analysis. We accept no responsibility for any investment results derived from this forecast. That concludes this week's Global Financial Market Weekly Outlook. Thank you very much for watching until the end.